And so Dre called me like, yeah, what you doing, bro? We trying to do something later. I'm like, oh, I'm out chilling. I'm on a date. He like, oh, on a date? What you doing? I'm like, man, shorty took me kayaking. He's like, kayaking? Hey, yo, is you with so-and-so? And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, yo, hey, Smitty, this nigga took my shorty on a date. I'm like, how you know? He's like, yo, she wanted me to go kayaking. There ain't two black chicks in Texas that want to go kayaking. I know you're with her. That's crazy, bro. Hey, you know I hit it, right? I'm like, what? Alright, so boom, check it. Now ain't that how every great story start out? Now why would mine be any different? These are the Chronicles of Mike Murphy. Welcome back to another episode of the Chronicles of Mike Murphy with your narrator, comedian Mike Murphy. Now, if you ask me, I'm one of the best to do it when it comes to the storytelling shit, in my humble opinion. But before we go on, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Like, share, comment, tell a friend and tell a friend. Whatever you can do to contribute to growing this channel, I greatly appreciate it because, again, without you, there is no me, and I'm thankful for that. In today's episode, I want to take y'all back to the spring of 2007, where I almost got jumped outside of a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic by my girl's brother and his friends. But before we get to that point, I got to take you back a couple of weeks to what led up to that unfortunate series of events. So in Killeen, Texas, where I was stationed at outside of Fort Hood, there's only one mall in that area, in that city. And in that one mall, there's maybe 2 or 3 clothing stores that sell the kind of clothes that we was wearing back on the East Coast. Because in the South, they so far behind all the trends that they don't be having and stuff. A lot of dudes that I know that was from New York or Jersey or Philly, they would just wait to go home to go shopping. But I would just buy, if I seen an Nietzsche velour, I'm going to grab that. Or, some Pelly jeans, whatever. I was going to get the stuff, but there was only a few stores in that area that ever sold the stuff. And one of those stores happened to have this bad light-skinned joint who was like the retail, the sales lady or whatever. Fine. She kind of reminded me of Maya, the singer. Fire. You know what I mean? And so I would always see her when I go in there, but I'm thinking to myself, this is the only kind of clothing store for black people, especially the kind of clothes we wear. She probably get hit on by 100 dudes a day. How can I stand out to bag her, is what I'm thinking. This is when MySpace was out. Rest in peace to Tom and his platform. I mean, not literally Tom, but the MySpace, you know what I mean? Tom probably alive and well with all his bread. Anyways, getting off track. I get on MySpace, and I can't remember now because I don't remember how MySpace worked completely, but I find her on MySpace somehow. I send her a message. Yo, I be seeing you in the store. You look good, da-da-da. I didn't want to, approach you while you was at work. I didn't know if that was professional. Something along those lines, right? Send a message. I swear to God, like 20 minutes later, the doorbell rings. I go downstairs. My roommate, Dre, is like, yo, could you the door, bro? I'm like, bet. I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, all right. I open up the door. It's her from the clothing store. I'm like, oh, shit. Now I'm perplexed because I'm like, what is she doing here? I'm kind of cheesing like, oh, you got my message? That's what I wanted to say, right? Like, yo, you got my message? I'm like, hey, what's up? She was like, hey, is Dre here? I was like, Dre? She's like, yeah, Dre, I at the right house, right? I was like, yeah, come on in. I'm like, oh, shit, Dre on that? He bad? I'm like, okay, all right. Boy, he ain't playing fair. So I'm like, yeah, you can go upstairs. I'm like, yo, Dre got company. Like, all right, I'll be out in a second or whatever. He come downstairs. He like, oh, how you doing? Introduce us. I was like, oh, hey, I want to tell her like, yo, time out. I just sent you a message on MySpace saying, yeah, I mean, but I ain't know how to do it. So I just ain't say nothing. She clean our whole crib and she make us dinner. I'm like, bro, what are you doing to these joints to be having them open like this? He's like, yeah, you know what I mean? So he said some stupid shit, right? So she cleaned the crib, made us dinner, we ate, it was all good, whatever. So that clothing store she worked at had 2 locations, one in Killeen and one in Austin. I think Austin might have been like the main store, and then they opened one in Killeen where she worked at. So anyways, my man Keon, KB from Coney Island, he was stationed in Germany at the time. And I met him when he was stationed at Fort Hood. That was like my right-hand man. He's stationed in Germany, but he's in Texas visiting. And he goes to the store. He's looking for this particular belt. I remember it was like a camouflage belt, and it had like M16 rounds going all the way around it, like the 223 joints, right? I don't know. That was when like Cats was wearing like the Dickie shirt with all like the army patches. Like that was the wave then. So KB was trying to get that belt, but they didn't have it at the Killeen store. They had it at the Austin store. So at some point, she's like, come to the store. I'll see if I got it. Me and KB go there. She don't got it. She's like, they got it in Austin. I can order it for you. He's like, bet. So she orders a thing. He's like, I ain't going to be here, but you can give it to my man. He'll mail it to me. She's like, cool. So I don't remember if she ever read that message on MySpace, or maybe I just told her about it. Like, hey, I don't want you to think I sent you that after I seen you. That was before. I don't know, but that wasn't really on the table no more. So she calls me to go pick up the belt when it comes in. It's at her crib. I'm like, okay. So I go over there to pick up the belt. And this part of the story might be foggy. I don't remember if KB was with me and we went to go get the belt. Like maybe he was still in town. She got it faster than she thought. I can't remember, but I remember we was over there and I was looking at her like, damn, Dre really got her. He don't deserve her. I'm hating in my head, right? So at some point I hit her up and was like, yo, what's up with you and Dre? She's like, oh, I don't fuck with Dre no more. He had a girlfriend the whole time. Like I found out that I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy, right? Now at this point, I'm thinking they never really did nothing because I only seen her at the house once, and then she found out about the girlfriend like shortly after that. So I'm like, damn, he had a girl. That's crazy. Like, I mean, I was liking you. Brought up the MySpace message. So yeah, she knew about the message because I brought it up. Like, you seen that? I sent you the message. I got the number. Let me use it. She's like, all right, cool. Now, nowadays, I would never do that. But back then, I ain't care. I'm like, he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't do nothing with her. He had a girl anyways. I'm trying to be on her. I was already feeling her. So me and her talking, but I ain't telling Dre because I don't want him to know. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like dirty macked it a little bit. You know what I mean? In my younger days, I dirty macking and bagged her. So I'm talking to Dre, and I'm talking to Girly. I ain't telling Dre about it. So one day she like, yo, I want to do something fun this weekend. You probably never done it before. Let me know if you're interested. I'm like, all right, what's that? She's like, I want to go kayaking. I'm like, kayaking? That's some white boy shit. Like, where you get that idea from? She's like, oh, no. Now I found out that she had grew up in a foster home. And her parents were white. So she was doing that adventurous outdoor stuff that black people don't typically be doing. So she's like, I want to take you kayaking. I'm like, all right, bet. I pick her up that day. We drive to Austin, which is like 45 minutes from Killeen. We get to Austin. We do the kayaking. She takes me to this restaurant. They had like frog legs, gator meat, all this like, stuff that don't be served traditional places. I'm getting all this new experience with Shorty. Like, I want kayaking. I'm eating gator. And so Dre called me like, yeah, what you doing, bro? We trying to do something later. I'm like, oh, I'm out chilling. I'm on a date. He like, oh, on a date? What you doing? I'm like, man, Shorty took me kayaking. He's like, kayaking? Hey, yo, is you with so-and-so? And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, yo, hey, Smitty, this nigga took my Shorty on a date. I'm like, how you know? He's like, yo, she wanted me to go kayaking. There ain't two black chicks in Texas that want to go kayaking. I know you're with her. That's crazy, bro. Hey, I hit it, right? I'm like, what? She never told me that he hit it, and he never told me that prior. He hit it that first day she came to the crib and cooked for us. She left, then a couple days later found out about his girl, and that was it. So he's like, I got what I wanted. I'm like, yo. But I really like her at this point now. We've been talking for a couple weeks. So I'm like, well, what do I do, bro? He's like, yeah, I hit it, bro. I'll see you later. Enjoy kayaking, nigga. Click. I'm like, yo. She's like, who was that? I was like, oh, that was Dre. She's like, fuck him. Da, da, da. I was like, that's cool, whatever. We finished the night out, whatever. But what I didn't like was, and this happened to me one other time in my life, was that she was making me wait the beat, and she let Dre crack the first night. And her reasoning was, and the same reasoning that another girl told me before when I found out she made me wait and not someone else, was, I knew he wasn't going to be the one for me. Like, I knew he wasn't shit. I really liked you, so I wanted to make you wait so you would respect me. Ladies, let me tell you something right now. That is not going to guarantee a man respects you. There's been chicks, the chick that I married, I cracked her like in the fourth or fifth, like within the first week. If a dude likes you, he likes you. That's not going, you know what I'm saying? And most men is so arrogant, so cocky, so confident that they thinking you should want to let me pipe you seen me and you knew that you wanted me because I'm that dude. A lot of dudes think like that. So holding off is not going to make that dude respect you any more or any less. And I'll tell you this, fellas, I don't want this to be the kind of topic of it, but any chick that's making you wait for those used goods that she didn't make someone else wait for is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got beat the first night, but her trying to 90-day rule you in, nah, don't tolerate that. I was doing that back in the day. Hove did that, so hopefully you didn't have to go through that. Don't go through that, you know what I'm saying? But Shorty made me wait. And I knew she let him beat because he told me. So I was kind of frustrated about that. So I remember the night that it finally happened. We were going to the field for training each week and coming back in for the weekend. We were doing it for 4 weeks in a row. So Monday we go to the field, we come back Friday, have the weekend off, go back out Monday, repeat for 4 weeks. One of those weekends I came in, she was like, come stay the night with me this weekend because I know you're going to be back in the field. I'm like, bet. I come to the crib and I didn't think she was even going to let me beat because she had been playing games. So I ain't bring no condoms or nothing. I just went to the crib, I showered, we lay down, she starts to kiss on me. Now I know it's happening, but I don't want to ruin the moment by like, yo, let me run to the whip and grab the, you know what I mean? So I made the young mistake. I'm going in raw diggler. You know what I'm saying? So she gets on top and I ain't going to front. This wouldn't be the first or the last time this happened, but the joint was so fire that I knew I was going to blast off prematurely. And I didn't want to tell her that because I was embarrassed. If it happened to me now, I'd just be like, oh shit, whew, that shit fire. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be good. You know what I mean? If I even need that, because I'm still young. My testosterone's still through the roof. Sometimes I pop and just keep going. You know what I mean? Anyways, I didn't want to tell her I was about to blast, and so I just let off. Oh well. You know what I mean? So I don't know what happened, but shortly after that, we stopped talking. We weren't together no more, whatever. Wasn't really a bad breakup, but just weren't together anymore. And I knew in the back of my mind what I did. So 2 months later, I hit up I was just thinking about you. I want to see how you was doing. You know, I was just checking on you. She's like, oh, I'm good. You know, blah, blah. You want to get something to eat or something? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I pick her up. We go to a restaurant. Now, backstory is she's like a full-fledged alcoholic, low key. I didn't know that when I first met her, but when she goes out, she needs a drink. She's putting down 2 or 3 anywhere we go where they're serving liquor. When we get there and order our food, I'm like, yo, what you drink? She's like, nah, I'm not drinking nothing. I'm like, you not drinking nothing? I'm automatically like, yo, why you not drinking alcohol? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh, this ain't. And I'm like, well, you pregnant or something? I'm saying it jokingly, but I really want to know. She's like, well, actually, I kind of am. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. We just broke up. Who, you already got a baby on the way? She was like, it's yours. I'm like, what? How is it mine? In my head, I'm thinking, I know how it's mine. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, I'm 100% sure. I know my timeline. It adds up. It was that night. I'm like, I don't know how. I had a condom on. You know, all this. I'm lying to her, right? I'm like, so what we going to do? She's like, I don't know. I just need some time to think about it. I'm like, bet. So at some point in between that day and the abortion clinic, I was out with my friends, me, Dana, Harris, Smitty, Dre. It was a bunch of us, probably 20 of us, male and female together. We was partying in Austin, and we down in Austin, and Dana and Crystal get into it with some girl. They start rumbling, right? We watching it oh, they washing these chicks. Some dudes that was with the girls don't like what's going on and swing on Dana. Now, I don't think he connected with her. I think in the melee he missed, but then he grabbed her. We ran over. We trashed cuz. We did son dirty, right? We smashed him out. Pause. We went to town on buddy. You know what I'm saying? We really hurt him bad. Then the cops was coming on horseback because if you ever been to 6th Street in Austin, on the weekends, I don't know if they still do it now. This is in 2006, 2007. They block off the streets and the cops patrol horses and you just walk up and down 6th Street just having fun, going bar to bar, hopping. That's how it was then. So the cops was coming down on horses, everybody scatters, we take off or whatever, right? But I remember what the dude looked like. So at one point, I'm at her crib, I'm on a computer and I'm going through her photo albums or something, not sneaking like she's showing me pictures or something. And I'm next picture, next picture, next picture. I'm like, yo, how you know, son? She's like, what you mean? I'm like, yo, we fucked dude up. She's like, what you mean? I'm like, man, this nigga put his hands on my homegirl. We beat the brakes off this nigga. How you know, dude? I'm saying, I'm telling her all we did to dude. And she like, what? That's my brother. I'm like, what? Because she's light-skinned. I told you she looked like Maya. This dude was like dark-skinned. They didn't look nothing alike. She's like, that's my brother. I'm like, that ain't your brother. She's like, yes, it is. That's fucked up. He was in a hospital. He was had a concussion and all this stuff. And he got stitches and y'all broke bones. And she's telling me all this shit. Like, I'm kind of liking the feedback that we getting. Like, yeah, we mopped him up. Shouldn't have put his hands on my peoples, right? But she's clearly upset about the situation. I'm like, how was that your brother? She's like, I told you I grew up in a foster. That's my foster brother. I'm like, oh, see, I'm not really related. She's like, we grew up together since we was kids. That's my brother. Get the fuck out of my house. She's tight, right? All right, I'll leave, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave. So eventually she says she's not keeping the baby, which I'm glad because I'm about to go back to Pittsburgh. I'm about to get out the army. So I'm like, I don't want to have a kid in Texas. I'm going back home and I ain't staying here. So she's like, I'm getting an abortion. I'm like, well, I'll pay for it. I don't want you to have to pay for it. Let me know how much it is. She's like, well, I applied for like Medicaid or whatever it is down there. I'll let you know how much it costs. I said, all right. She said, if I get approved for the Medicaid, it's only a $50 copay. If I don't, I think she said it was like $350 or some shit. I'm like, all right, let me know. She's like, bet. So the day of, I'm taking her to Austin. She says, I didn't get approved for the Medicaid. It's going to be $350. I'm like, cool. I don't like abortion clinics because I'm not really for abortions. But in that case, I was like, okay. That was my first experience with the Planned Parenthood. When you walk up, they got the big picket signs with mutilated babies and they got Bibles out. They telling you you're going to hell when you pull up. They outright, they got a line that they draw, like the protesters got to be on the outside of the line, but they try and guilt you. How could you do this? All this. I'm thinking like, I ain't doing nothing. She is. Get on her. It's her body, her choice, not mine. I'm just paying for it, right? But I seen that and was like, this is crazy. We go in there. She checks in or whatever. We sitting down and I'm like, hey, I got a question. And she's like, don't say nothing to it. I'm like, yo, how long is this going to take? What is she talking about? Like, she's wilding. What you mean? Don't answer my question. How long is this going to be? She's like, oh, it takes about whatever. I can't remember. She tells me the time. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. So I start to walk back to go sit with her. But then I'm starting to wonder, why did she tell that lady not to answer none of my questions? So now I'm getting suspicious. So I was like, hey, I got a question. I was like, how much is this? She's like, don't tell him nothing. The lady blurts out like, oh, it's $25. I'm like, $25? She's like, yeah, because with the Medicaid, the copay is only $25. I'm like, hold on. She told me she ain't get approved for that. She's like, oh, I didn't know I got approved. The nurse was like, now the nurse knows that she's trying to spin me. And the nurse ain't with it. She on my side. The nurse is like, hold on, you did know. We told you yesterday when we confirmed the appointment, you got approved and everything. We told you what the copay was. I'm like, oh, you really try to do me dirty, right? What the fuck is wrong with you? She's like, I don't care. And the crazy thing was, even if she got approved for the Medicaid, she still told me it was 50. It wasn't only 25. She's trying to get something out of me no matter what. She hit me with a Denzel. I'm leaving here with something. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something. That's what she was trying to do. I'm talking crazy to her. Now, what I didn't know was she already called her brother, like, yeah, dude who jumped you is up here with me. I don't know that. So I'm talking to her like, man, you go through this shit on your own. I'm fucking out, man. Find somebody else to pick you up. You try to get out on me, man, good luck with the baby or whatever you want to do. She's like, it's cool. My brother's on his way up here right now to fuck you up. I'm like, yeah, tell him come on. Now, I'm going to tell you why I wasn't worried. The night before, we all went to the club. Me, Harris, my man Boom, my man Dre, Smitty. It was a bunch of us, right? And when we went into the club, Harris was like, yo, let me put the ratchet in your trunk because I got it on me. I'm like, I bet, put it in the bucket where I kept all my cleaning supplies, like for your Armor All and stuff for the car. So he puts the joint in the bucket. And I remember when we got to the crib, Harris was staying with us at the time. He never took the ratchet back in the house with him. So I'm thinking, I got the ratchet in the trunk. Your brothers is going to end up on the news. Like, yeah, tell him come on. So I walk out to the parking lot, boop, boop, pop the trunk to go get the Roscoe out. That joint is gone. I call Harris. He's like, yo, yeah, I took it out the car this morning. I forgot it was in here. I didn't want you to get pulled over with it. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, yo, I got to go. I hang up. I see a car of hooligans. Woo, they coming through the lot. I don't know if this is what they was doing, but in my mind, they was hanging out the windows like, yeah, we on your ass now. And I was like, oh, shit. I hurry up, close the trunk, jump in the Benz, back out. As I'm pulling out the Planned Parenthood lot, I see these dudes coming in looking like on Menace when they was with AWACS and they was riding around. They looking like that coming through, and I'm leaving out. And then on my right-hand side, I see the babies on the cardboard posters. Yeah, you're going to hell. You know, a baby's a life, all that shit they talking, right? And I see these dudes coming in, and we look past each other, and I was just like, oh, and I get on the road, and I'm flying like, yo, I got to get out of Austin ASAP. I ain't seen that girl since. I hope she got rid of the baby, because I ain't talked to her since. I ain't seen homie, none of that. I hauled ass and got back to Killeen. And that's the story how I almost got jumped by my shorty's brother outside an abortion clinic in Austin, Texas in the spring of 2007. I hope that she got the abortion. I'm going to keep it 100 because I never followed up with it. I hope she went through with it. But look, man, these until next time, these are the Chronicles, Mike Murphy.